Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out on not such a cold day in Buffalo. I always like to be here. I won't be here that long this morning because I'm going over to Rochester for the swearing in of Brian's neighbor, Eric Massa.
Nice.
Is being sworn in the Rochester area. Anyway, I first want to thank Congressman Higgins, not only for being here, not only for his great leadership, but because he's been the one who spearheaded this drive on the gas price disparity problem here in Western New York. Congressman Higgins has been fighting tooth and nail to get to the root of this problem, and his constituents from Chautauqua County all the way up through Tonawanda, you go that far? Almost to Tonawanda, should be very, very proud. And we all know, somehow, when gas prices go up, they go up more in Western New York. When gas prices go down, they go down less in Western New York. And it is not simply an issue of high national and international prices. Something is rotten in the way gasoline is priced here. It punishes every Western New York family, and without any explanation, it took over 3 months for Western New York's gas prices to fall into line with the rest of the states. Something is wrong. It goes up quicker, it goes down slower, it stays higher. And that puts a hole in everybody's wallet and pocketbook here in Western New York. So, here's what we know. In October, gas prices across the state started to fall, but in Western New York, they did not. On October 21st, the average retail price of gasoline was $3.40 a gallon in Buffalo, 8 cents more than in Rochester, 36 cents more than in Syracuse, 38 cents more than in Albany. There was a 12% drop overall in Western New York gas prices compared to, say, 19 in Albany. That persisted for 2 months. And the worst of it is we don't know why it is happening. And so Congressman Higgins, frustrated, asked the FTC to do an investigation. Their investigation, you could use a lot of words for it that you can't state on television, especially children's television here, that we have children hopefully watching the news. There are a whole lot of theories floating around. Lack of competition, price gouging, end of 2 gas pipelines. But we need an explanation because we think something is wrong. There is no explanation as to why it should be. So here's our opportunity, and I called Brian up last week and I said, we're going to get a new head of the FTC. That person has to be cleared by the Senate. Congressman Higgins and I will sit down with him. Okay, we'll try. Trying your gas prices right now, one thing at a time. Congressman Higgins and I will sit down with the nominee for the FTC, and we will ask him to do 3 things. 1, to do a full and comprehensive investigation to look at everything. 2, to make it public. Inexplicably, this FTC said they weren't going to make the investigation that Congressman Higgins said they ought to do when they started to do at his request. And 3rd, to come up with what the solutions ought to be. That's what we're going to ask the new FTC commissioner. And obviously you have the most leverage before they're approved. I have a feeling, given the potential names, I'm not going to talk about them publicly, but I know the 2 or 3 names they're considering, that person will be far more friendly to going after the oil companies and the gasoline companies than the previous commission. So I'm optimistic that we can get this done. And obviously we have our greatest leverage before the commissioner is chosen. So we want 4 things. I said 3, I must have left 1 out here. First, we want a quicker investigation, we want a public report, we want a detailed report, and we want action and remedies. Those are the 4 things we'll be asking for. And the work that Congressman Higgins has started, I'm now joining in, using the fact that the Senate has to advise and consent the FTC commissioner, and that we're going to have a new FTC commissioner. And I think together he and I will be able, finally, to get to the bottom of this awful mess. Congressman Higgins.
Senator Schumer, thank you again for being here on behalf of the people of Buffalo and Western New York. Always responsive, always willing to be helpful in conventional and non-conventional ways. Senator Schumer is not afraid to use his bully pulpit and the confirmation authority that the Senate has in promoting changes here in Western New York. We were dealing with the Federal Trade Commission, a lame duck Federal Trade Commission back in October. At one point they said the disparity in the Buffalo area was highly unusual, and in the next sentence they said they were going to expand their investigation to include Vermont. That's not a response. That's not a response. They were initially, communicative, but we need a solution to this problem. Working with Senator Schumer in the confirmation process with the Federal Trade Commission, I am confident that we will shed light on this problem toward the goal of driving down the cost of gasoline in Buffalo and Western New York. So again, on behalf of a grateful community, Senator Schumer, I want to thank you for your responsiveness always to our requests for assistance and for working together on behalf of the people of Buffalo and Western New York.